Guys, welcome to this reading. Let's jump in and see what the vibe for today is. Hope y'all are doing well. The vibe. Let's see. Oh, I have a couple coming out. I have fate and fortune, the wheel of fortune, karma, cycles, divine intervention, divine detours, and I have external party situations, karmic partner, friends and family, work, other people, and obligations. Okay, so you might have several things going on all at once simultaneously right now. You might have, a situation where you are dealing with friends and family or coworkers. You may even be dealing with a relationship where maybe a third party was involved and things are needing to change. There's a cycle of change coming out here with the Wheel of Fortune coming out. Okay. So, whatever the situation is something needs to change. And so the wheels of fate are beginning to turn. Let's take a look and see exactly what this is before we jump to any conclusions. Okay, I have the moon coming out here. So with the moon, there are things that are just a little bit hidden, a little bit secret, maybe things that we're not exactly seeing right now. Now let's not jump to any conclusions, okay? I know when the moon card comes out, and we got third party situation and we got fate coming out, everybody just automatically assumes, third party situation. But let's go further into this reading and see exactly what this is about, because this could just be that, there are things that are below the surface right now that you're not exactly aware of or seeing, that, maybe there's new situations, relationships, and things that are coming in to play and are just kind of lurking in the background, waiting to make their appearance for you. So this can also be a really good thing coming in of, new cycles starting with new soulmates and friendships. I have the dark path. This is learning from my mistakes. Okay, again, so the wheels of fate are turning. So whatever's gone on, so far in your life, it's saying that, I've gone through a lot of lessons. I've closed out a lot of cycles. I've, been with friends, relationships, coworkers, whatever it may be. And I have learned from the lessons of the past, whatever that may be regarding all of these people. We all have soulmates that come in and they all teach us a lesson and we teach them one. And so it looks like you have been able to successfully find out the reasons for those relationships, why they were there, and you actually are now seeing and recognizing the lessons that were interwoven into those relationships and situations, and you're integrating the lesson now so that you can have more positive experiences in the future. This may be why the moon card is here, why fate is here in this external party and situations. It's just saying here, that there are things that are kind of being put together that are, starting to, come together and coalesce in the, background that maybe you're not seeing right now, that is helping, come together for you to have, an ability to kind of test out these new skills, right? Okay. So we might have new friendships, new coworkers, new opportunities, new relationships come in. And what they are is they allow us to kind of test out those new skills that we've just developed in all of the previous ones that we've just had in the previous cycle. This could also be with the moon, where maybe you're kind of a little bit into your emotions and maybe you're feeling a type of way and you're just kind of, trying to ride the waves of those. I have asking and telling coming out here again. So this is kind of, a card where usually I put this with, maybe you've been asking for some advice from friends or family regarding the situations in your life, maybe all of these changes, and you're just trying to seek some advice. Or maybe people are giving you a little bit of unsolicited advice and you're just not feeling too keen on that, okay? Or maybe people are putting some ideas in your head that aren't exactly accurate, okay? And maybe it's kind of making you feel a type of way. And, usually in those situations, I usually recommend that people just kind of, back off and say thanks, but no thanks, and just kind of filter those situations and that advice, through your own heart and your own mind, because you're going to know exactly what's relevant for you and what feels good to you and how to best navigate, these times of transition. Let's take a look at the overall energy of the situation and see exactly what's going on, get some more details here. Okay, with the overall situation here, I have the hanged man. So this is a time where you are just kind of, in a time of rest. This is a time of, contemplating back, reflecting back on situations that have been playing out in the past, reflecting on what's going on here in the present, and maybe getting a little bit of some ideas of what maybe you want to make, change here in the future and do things differently. So the hangman, we're kind of being put in a little bit of a limbo where we're being asked to see all these situations and what's playing out and what has played out before, from a different perspective, mostly from a lens of learning, okay? So that you can use those lessons again for the future. Let's take a look at the recent past. Okay, with the recent past, I have a couple coming out. I have the Page of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles again. So this is really taking time to nurture yourself. So in this time that you are being asked to kind of hold still, not much is really going on. You're really taking this opportunity in the past to say, I know my worth, I know my value, and I need to really focus on myself right now. Maybe these situations, wreaked a little bit of havoc on your world. And so you've really taken time to shift your perspective from the outside world, from all of those external people, and now shift it inwardly to you. And so now you're really looking at those lessons with the Page of Pentacles here. You've actually seen the lessons and now you're ready to integrate them. Let's take a look at the present energy. Okay, with the present energy, I have the Eight of Wands. So things are really beginning to speed up. Things are beginning to pick up in your life. You might be getting a little bit of downloads intuitively that are guiding you on the path forward, saying, hey, things, might be looking a little bit stuck, stagnant still right now, but don't you worry, things are getting ready to pick up. And what you're doing right now with that resting and nurturing and waiting for this time of transition to kind of, do its thing, you're doing really, really well, okay? There might even be messages coming in here, but this gives me an energy of just, reassuring you that things are getting ready to start to pick up. So, fear not. Let's take a look at the near future. Ooh, maybe the near future is really exciting with how those came out. Oh, I have the Knight of Cups and Death. Okay. This could go a couple of ways here. So with this coming out here in the near future, this is just saying that with the Knight of Cups and the Death card, you've allowed for this time of transition to fully take root. It's allowing things to fall away that are no longer serving you, no longer, in your vibrational level, and no longer going into the future with you, and moving forward with an open heart and open mind and looking for what does fulfill you with this Knight of Cups, okay? So good for you on this path. It looks like you've really taken these lessons, and instead of reflecting and putting time and energy into everybody else and maybe trying to solve their problems or how they're doing in these situations, you really took heed of the advice and turned it inward to you and really cared and nurtured for yourself, really allowed yourself time to heal, allowed for those things to fall away, though I bet they were quite uncomfortable. And, things are beginning to move forward now. And so now you're really on this new path here in the near future of, a, journey of the heart, of what really matters to you, what's emotionally fulfilling to you. Let's take a look at the advice for you. Advice. Ooh, okay, I have a couple coming out here. I have for your advice, I have justice and I have the Ace of Cups. Again, bringing that heart and that mind into balance, being really open for something new, open to new opportunities, new situations, new relationships, new cycles, and being able to really be confident in knowing that, you've now taken your lessons from the past and now you're on for better things. Okay. So it looks like, you're getting in this really beautiful place where things are balancing out, they're calming down, and they're starting to open up a new energy for new things to come in. Let's take a look at what's hidden in case there's something that you're not seeing that might prove helpful. What's hidden? Really good energy. You can be proud of yourself. That's a lot of work to do. Going through a lot of transitions and closing out cycles is not easy. What's hidden? Ooh, that's too many. Sorry, guys. Let's take a look at what's hidden. Let's try this again. What's hidden? maybe it's not going to reveal it with that moon card being here. Maybe they want to keep this, very secretly. Maybe there's some surprises up ahead for you. Oh my gosh. Now here my deck goes being all crazy. Okay. So sorry guys, the energy with this deck has been a little bit challenging today. I won't even lie. The bucking bronco. Okay, let's try this one more time. If this reading isn't helpful, at least it'll be entertaining for you watching me just kind of make a mess of myself here. Okay, let's take a look. Let's try this again. What's hidden? Okay, we finally got one. Okay, let's see here. I have the Eight of Pentacles. Again, what's hidden here is all of the work that you have done to get to this point so far. Okay, so maybe you haven't been taking the time to really reflect on and notice all of the hard work you've done to get here. Okay, Eight of Pentacles, it's a self mastery card in a reading like this, and you have successfully mastered the self, mastered your emotions, learned from the lessons of the past, and really have integrated them and are ready to implement them here in new situations, new relationships, new opportunities. So this is magnificent. Take a moment to recognize all of the work you've put in. Let's take a look at what you don't see coming in the coming weeks. What don't see coming in the coming weeks? Oh, there's one. Wanted to come out here. What you don't see coming is the Seven of Swords. Okay, so again, this is a card where with that Moon card coming out, it's just saying a little bit of strategizing. There might be some things, especially with how hard things were coming out, that there's just some things that are still kind of coalescing and coming into form that are getting prepared for the future. So in the coming weeks, it might just be that you're getting in a state again because you're already ready for the new, that you might be getting ready to take this time to kind of implement and strategize some new ideas of, what do you want to experience? Take time to take thought into that, really heartfelt thought of, I've been through all these things in the past. This isn't, what I liked about them. This is what I wish would have been different. And now, start to make a plan of what you now do want to experience here in the future so that you can begin to start implementing those steps. Sometimes we have to meet the universe halfway. And so, this might be that, hey, I want to meet some new people that are like-minded. Maybe I love yoga and I love fitness and I love, eating healthy and well and meditating. But you're not really doing anything to, put yourself in a position to meet those new people and those new opportunities. So this may be asking you to make some plans. Hey, if you want to, meet like-minded people who enjoy some of the same things, well, then maybe you can, join a gym or join a, yoga class or something like that. So then you can place yourself in a position of being around those like-minded people so that the universe can bring in those opportunities for you and make it a little bit easier for you. Okay. So it looks like here in the coming weeks, you're just going to be planning what's next for the future. So I hope you found this reading to be helpful. And until I see you again, take care.